of all the actors we see on TV, only a few are being paid what they truly deserve.
Do we have stars on television in South Africa?
Yeah, there are a few people who are treated like stars. It's like, what, 3 of them?
Back in 2014, many actors from generations went on strike because they were being paid very little. Instead of things getting better, they were all fired. Because of things like this, many actors are scared to speak up. Ronnie Nyakale revealed that they signed contracts they don't agree with because of desperation.
Uyabona i-contract nayi awuvumelani ngesheleni mara uyasayina why ka.
They know that if they complain, they could be blacklisted and lose their jobs.
I am not the only actor who's in that predicament. There are lots of actors. Many. And some of them have spoken out. And where are they today? Blacklisted. Nobody wants to touch them.
But we need to start talking about it. Let's begin with Vati Sondara, who almost took her own life because of the industry struggles. You would think someone like Vati Sondara is rich and living a soft life. I used to think the same, but the truth is very different. Behind the fame, she was struggling just to survive. Early in her acting career, she revealed that she once earned 9,000 rand for a role in full television drama series. That means all the work she did on the show, all the time and effort only brought in that small amount. To me, that is very shocking and looks like slavery. It shows how little actors were valued. Years later, when she was already known, she was offered between 82,000 rand and 110,000 rand for 5 weeks of work on a major TV production. At first, it sounds like good money, but when you really think about it, it is not. These shows get repeated many times and keep making money, while actors do not get paid again. In my opinion, that is not fair at all. Now here's where everything starts to fall apart. She chose to speak out and refused to accept low pay. She stood up not just for herself but for other actors too. But instead of change, things got worse. Work started to disappear. She said she was blacklisted, and whether people agree with that or not, one thing was clear. She went years without acting jobs, and when there is no work, there is no income.
Global people were coming there, big people. So when they see a notice written there that says anyone seen talking to Vati Sondara will face disciplinary action, what are these people supposed to think of me?
Yes.
That kind of life brings stress and fear every single day. And it got even deeper. This was no longer just about money because it became emotional and mental. In her book, she spoke about depression and even surviving a suicide attempt. Just think about that. Someone we see on TV was going through that level of pain.
Who's gonna help me with rent? Who's gonna, you know, you're always ducking when the landlord is... I couldn't. Had to get my son back to the Eastern Cape at some point, but some serious stuff happened before that. I thought, why don't I end my life?
To me, that says a lot about the industry. It looks glamorous from the outside, but inside it can break people. But one actress who was truly broken by financial struggles is thnx. For many people, fame looks like success, but for thnx, the reality has been very different. Behind the scenes, her life slowly started to fall apart in a way that many fans did not expect. Tina built her name through strong roles on South African television, especially on Isibaya, where she played a powerful and respected character. She became a familiar face, someone people trusted and admired. But when the show ended, things began to change. The acting jobs became fewer and the steady income she once had started to disappear. And this is where the real struggle began.
Political parties wonke noma ngabo bani ama individual noma ngabo bani ongasiza ngicela nisisize nabantwana kunzima sengile artist ke elingasapasheki angazi ukuthi why ngingawathola amagigi bayaza bayiphethe industry ukuthi why.
Without regular work.
Yeah, and working the industry is a whole different job. I think it's actually very tough, boy. Having to be a person that's gonna keep getting booked and also not knowing who's in charge of these things. It's like you could be a good actor, but if they hate you, you're not gonna get any gigs. But
started falling behind on her bond payments for a home in Glen Vista. Like many people in the industry, she depended on contracts, and when they stopped coming, the pressure quickly built up. She tried to manage the situation. She even informed the bank about her financial problems, but over time the debt grew too heavy to control. Then came a moment that changed everything. In October 2023, her home was sold at Sheriff's auction. It was not just a house, it was her family's only place of safety. Losing it meant losing stability for her and her children. The property was later transferred to a businessman, Tevin Mashila, in early 2024.
Ngidinga usizo mayelana nalendlu okuyikhaya lami nabantu abami phela kwekhaya esinalo leli. Iy'nkinga zami nalendlu zaqala ngo-2023 ku-October nge-3 lapho ibhange ladayisa lo muzi wami ngokungekho emthethweni. Ngiloku-ke ngihlukunyezwa umuntu othi wathenga lo muzi kusukela last year ngoFebruary ungihlukumeza ehlangene nabangani bakhe ney'hlobo zakhe.
From that point, the situation turned into a long and painful legal battle, but Tina did not walk away. She refused to leave the house and she stood her ground and challenged the sale in court. According to her, the process was not done fairly. She believes she was not properly informed and that her financial struggles were not fully considered. On the other side, the new owner insists everything was legal and he has been paying for the property while she continues to live there. So now it is no longer just about money, it is about two different truths fighting each other. Tina found herself in another difficult position. She could not afford legal fees. Imagine that, a well-known actress asking the public for help just to defend her home. She even went to social media, emotional and desperate, asking for a pro bono lawyer to stand with her. The case has been delayed, giving her more time but not a final answer. She is still in the house, still fighting and still holding on. But Glenn Gabela did not even get a chance to fight for his home as he was kicked out as soon as he got broke. Glenn Gabela was once a strong and respected actor on Uzalo. He played Pastor Mdletshe, which was a role many people loved and myself included. But when he left the show, his life changed in a very painful way. Glenn said he was promised a long-term role, so when his contract suddenly ended, it felt like everything broke at once. The job that gave him steady money was gone and he was not ready for what came next. But this was not the first time Glenn felt treated unfairly. Many years earlier when he acted in Shaka Zulu, he was promised 40,000 for his role. In the end, he only received about 7,000 rand.
Damn.
40,000 I was offered, boom, check, boom, 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 sign, boom. I'm given a check. This check reads 7,000 rand. Yep. All I earned Shaka Zulu was 7,000 rand.
Damn.
Big as Shaka Zulu was, 7,000 rand.
After all that hard work,
Damn. Can you imagine, bro? Like that type of betrayal? Because now you put in all this work to get what? 7,000 for like a historical film or a historical series. You feel? You don't get that much.
he had to take a bus back to Johannesburg, and that moment stayed with him.
And I'm told in no certain terms that, Glenn, there's a bus going back to Joburg and a crew. So if you can pack your bags and get a bus in.
After leaving Uzalo, things became even worse. Acting jobs became very hard to find. Months passed, and then years, and it was even hard to keep up with bills when he had no income at all. He shared that his bank accounts were frozen, which made things even harder. His car was taken back because he could not keep up with payments. Then he lost his home in Mdloti, and his belongings were locked inside.
My bank froze all of my accounts, right? The car I had that I bought, I'd taken it from West Bank, right? A loan from West Bank to buy the car. The car was repossessed. My apartment in Mdloti was locked. Everything I had was locked up.
Life became very tough, and Glenn had to live on a small government grant.
And what's crazy is it happens to people that actually need the money. You know, like these older people, the elders. Why shouldn't it happen to somebody else? Better yet, why is it happening? You know, it's not supposed to happen to anyone, bruh. It's crazy that I'm saying it should happen to somebody else, but like it's happening to adults that actually need this shit, bro.
Our actors are subjected to impilo nje nayi award yakhe Glenn Gabela. Ngicela nibuke indawo ahlala kuyo. Ngicela nibuke indawo uGlenn ahlala kuyo.
Sometimes he depended on help from others just to eat. In one video, he showed his fridge and it was almost empty. There was only bottles of water inside. It showed how serious his struggle was. Glenn also explained that when he was working, he earned about 50,000 rand a month, but after tax and bills, he had very little left. So when the job ended, he had no savings. Glenn felt alone and deeply sad. But even through the pain, he spoke out so people could understand what actors are going through when there's no work. And for Pebezi Matlala, life changed very fast. After she left her husband, she had to take care of her children alone. Before, there were two people bringing money into the house. Now it was only her, and she made the choice to protect herself and her kids, but it made life much better. She tried to work and earn money, but acting jobs were not easy to find. Even after being on Skim Sam, the jobs did not come all the time. Sometimes she worked and sometimes she had nothing. Her radio job also did not bring enough money.
Now, I have been trying to survive for the longest of time with the one job that I have, which is my radio job. However, it's been difficult to find other jobs.
Soon, she could not pay the rent anymore. She and her two children were forced to leave their home. They had nowhere to go, so they moved into a government shelter for women and children.
So yes, the kids and I are at a shelter, a women and children safety house, owned by the police department. And so it's very safe here. It's only women and children. Everything is provided for. And they just keep you here until you feel safe enough to get out there if you come from a domestic violence situation.